Cabinet has undertaken to donate 1 million Namibian dollars to aid the people of the Sahrawi Republic who experienced a devastating flood in October. President Hage Geingob made the pledge during a courtesy visit by Emhamed Khadad, the Polisario Front coordinator to the United Nations mission for the referendum in Western Sahara, and special envoy of the President of Sahrawi Republic, Mohamed Abdelaziz, at State House on Wednesday.
When we had yesterday in the cabinet about this, as a token, we just said as a token, they know we support. But since there is a disaster, let's just pledge and give $1 million as a beginning, just to start the ball rolling. So I'd like to inform you that that's what the cabinet decided yesterday. That is to start with $1 million. I mean, it's nothing, but it's to show concern.
Great.
We have also decided to have annual allocation of $2.3 million annually in our budget to Polisario and for administrative whatever you're going to use it for. And by so doing also to encourage others, not just to talk, the bigger countries, we are a smaller country, to do the same.
In a special message delivered to Geingob by his special envoy, President Mohamed Abdelaziz said his leadership is in great pressure from the Sahrawi people to renew the war, while at the same time the international community is calling for more patience.
President is saying we are, as a leadership, we are in the great pressure from our people to renew the war, and at the same time they are international committee calling for more patience, but we are patient for 40 years. We are waiting for 40 years result. And also, and lately we had the dramatic situation in the refugees camps with flood and rains, which destroyed really all the infrastructure. All what we have built in the refugees camps for the last 40 years have been destroyed by the rain. Not only infrastructure, but also the individual habitation and houses for the refugees and tent. That is adding really to the pressure on us to need to renew the war and to stop cooperating with United Nations because there are no progress. President is asking for your advice, for your point of view. You have a great experience, and Namibia is a reference for us for freedom and liberation of Africa, and I thank you very much for the occasion I'll give you.
The Namibian leader described the Sahrawian situation as similar to that of SWAPO in 1977, when he and founding President Sam Nujoma went to see former Cuban President Fidel Castro to have discussions on whether SWAPO should go for elections or not.
As for your question, what do we do? You know why I respect Fidel Castro is when we went there with my president, former president, founding father, 1977. That's a time we were discussing to go to elections or not under United Nations supervision. And that thing took similar course of delaying, agreeing we are going to do this, but delaying. But I was sitting there for the first time I met President Castro. And my president came from New York after they discussed now elections in Namibia, UN supervised elections. And SWAPO was worried how would President Castro react to us talking about elections instead of war. And he took about 1 hour to go around, beat around the bush, and came to the point later on. President Castro didn't interrupt, he just listened. And I have been with President Nujoma at many African ambassadors level even, to make our case. Before you even talk for 1 minute, you are interrupted and lecture. So President Castro listened for 1 hour. After that, he said, "Comrade Yama, it's your country. It's your struggle. If you came to ask for weapons, we gave you that. If you now come and say you want to go to elections, we give you that. Can I just ask one question? Would you win the elections?" Yes, with hard work. We, SWAPO, we have formed in Namibia, and we have roots there. So with hard work, we'll win. Castro says, we support you. I'm giving you that message. It's your struggle. We support you in what you are asking and so on. It's up to you to decide what you want to do next.
Thank you very much.
So that's the message I'll give you
Thank you
through quoting President Castro.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.